I can only imagine how helpless you must feel when you sit there and you're watching your loved one deal with their anxiety on their own. And the only reason they have to do that, it's not because you don't love them or care about them. The only reason is because you don't know how to help them. Well, later on in this video, I'm going to share with you some research-backed ideas on how you can help your loved one deal with their anxiety. Because believe it or not, you have the power and the ability to make a profound change in your loved one. And like I said, later on in the video, I'm going to share those things with you, what you can do to help. So stick around and we can go over those. But quickly, let me introduce myself. I'm Grant, 47 years old, and I've dealt with anxiety pretty much my entire life. Worst times were probably when I was a kid. I used to get bullied all the time in school, so I never wanted to go to school. Can't tell you how many times I skipped school. Nobody needs to know. Let me put it this way. I had 186 hours of unserved detention. I hope my wife didn't just hear that. All because I didn't want to go to school, because I didn't know what was going to happen to me that day. I didn't know if I was going to be pushed around, if I was going to have things thrown at me. I remember sitting on the bus. I want to say it was probably 7th, 8th grade. I'd sit on the bus and the popular kids, they always sat in the back of the bus, and they would take the erasers out of the pencils, and they would constantly just throw them at me on the bus. Well, then it went from erasers to like half a pencil, and they would throw it and throw it and throw it. Then eventually it turned into the full pencil. Well, there were a few times that, it stuck me. But I was always too scared, too worried, more so a coward. I didn't have a backbone to stand up for myself, all because of my anxiety. And it was something that, to this day, I look back and always think to myself, what if? What if I stood up for myself? What would have happened? Where would I be today? But where I am today, I am 100% happy with. I have a beautiful wife, 3 beautiful kids, 2 beautiful pups, beautiful home. So I can't complain. However, I still do suffer from anxiety, and I suffer from a bunch of other things, and we can talk about that later. But my goal is I want to help you be able to help your loved one deal with their anxiety better, and know that they have a teammate next to them that's going to be there for them when the time comes when they need it. People don't understand just how difficult having anxiety really is. It's debilitating at times. So, you know, it stinks. Oh, before I forget, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor. I am just a person who suffers from anxiety and can relate with all of you. So, with that being said, I really kind of briefly want to go over anxiety and exactly what anxiety is. You know, there are, there's many different types of anxiety. Generalized, social, numerous types, and we can talk about those if you choose to. Just put it in the comments and I'll be more than happy to make a video for it. If you're curious as to what general anxiety is, social anxiety, I'll be more than happy, like I said, to do the research for you and make a video. So, people always think that anxiety attacks and panic attacks are the same thing. Same exact thing. But they're not. Believe it or not, anxiety attacks and panic attacks are two completely separate things. An anxiety attack is something that builds over time. It's usually set off by a particular situation. Really kind of any situation that might stress you out. It could be as simple as maybe you slept through your alarm, and now because of that, every single day you're freaking out because you do not want to sleep through your alarm again. Well, with anxiety, I mean, it can last anywhere from, a day to weeks. And folks don't understand that, especially you folks, and that's one thing that you do need to understand is when we are having our anxiety attacks, bear with us. Just be there for us, and understand that it's not going to be something that we're going to get over quickly. Just keep that in mind. Now, on the other side, you have your panic attacks. Your panic attacks happen just randomly, out of the blue. I could be sitting here right now and have a panic attack. I don't know why. Really, nobody knows why. I mean, people contribute it to stress, and which is understandable. But yeah, they just appear completely out of the blue. How can I put it? The nice thing, if you want to put it that way, about them is they usually last between about 5 minutes to maybe an hour. However, it feels like a lifetime when you're going through them. A panic attack really makes you feel like you are dying. Your heart races, you feel like you're choking, you can't breathe, or you at least think you can't breathe. Your palms are sweaty, you're tingly all over. There are so many things that go through our head that, like I said, we truly believe that we are going to die. And that's just our brains. Our brains are wired differently. So, like I said, I wanted to be able to explain in this video some ways that you would be able to help your loved ones deal with their anxiety. So I kind of came up with a list of 5 things that I feel are important to me. There are numerous things that can be done. Again, these are all research backed, so they're proven to work. So I'm going to go through my list real quick right here. And yes, I have a list because there's other things that I suffer from. And if I don't have my list, I will squirrel and be somewhere else. So, like I said, I have 5 things that I wrote down. My number one thing that I think is the most important thing that you can do for your loved one is to educate yourself. Educate yourself on what exactly is an anxiety attack, what's a panic attack. That way you can distinguish between the two. With your anxiety attacks, you'll learn how to better help your loved one. More than just these 5 little things that I have down here on my list. Again, these are things that I think are important. So, number 1, educate yourself. Education is power, I guess you could say. It's going to help you help your loved one. Number 2, this is another very important one. Be patient with us. Be patient. If you've never been through it, then you don't understand. Don't get angry with us. Don't really just don't get angry. Let us talk. Let us try to talk through it. Don't interrupt. That's the 3rd thing on my list. Let me talk. Listen to me. Validate my feelings. It helps me to talk. And if you interrupt, it's just going to upset me more. It's not going to fix the situation. So let me talk. Let me annoy you. Number 4, offer practical support to me. I might not be in any kind of condition to want to do anything around the house. So offer that. Hey, can I do the dishes for you? Can I clean the kitchen for you? Is there anything that I can do for you to help you out? To maybe relieve some of the stress off of you? That's a big thing. And number 5, you know, number 5 and number 1 can kind of, I guess, be interchangeable, because number 5 is offer to help us get professional help. That's a big thing. You know, yeah, I put it as number 5 on my list, but like I said, I think it could go into the number 1 position as well, because it's just as important. It gives us another avenue, another out. Be patient with us. Don't get irritated. And I know that's easier said than done. But if you're here and you're watching this video, you're already taking the first step to figuring out how it is you can help your loved one. And I know for me, I appreciate that. I really do. And I know your loved one is going to appreciate it as well, because you're going to have a better understanding of what they're going through, and a better understanding of how you can help them. So please continue to check back. I am going to be making videos constantly about mental health issues. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. If there's a particular subject you would like me to cover, leave that in the comments as well. I'd love to hear from you guys. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Know that you're loved and know that you're cared about. And remember one thing: if your loved ones ever have that horrible thought in their heads, remember, there's always the suicide crisis line, and they can call or text 988, and they'll be able to talk to somebody. All right? I love you guys. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.